how are you doing? Welcome to our Module 4. My name is Marcello. I'm an English teacher at Centro, and in today's lesson we're going to study advice and suggestions. It's easy. It's not difficult. Advice and suggestions. You know that your opinion matters a lot. In our daily lives, we are always giving opinion. We have opinion for everything. So, for example, my son had a problem, so I gave him advice. As I told you, people are giving advice all the time. If you're a father or a mother, you know that you're giving advice for your children all the time. Advice and suggestions. So here we are going to study this modal verb, should or shouldn't. It's used to give an advice or suggestion. We can use should or shouldn't. You know that shouldn't is the contraction, should plus not, shouldn't, plus verb to give advice. Let's look at this dialogue. I am going to a camping trip with my family tomorrow. Oh, cool. You should take a flashlight, a first aid kit, and a sleeping bag. Flashlight, first aid kit, and a sleeping bag. Pay attention that you're using this modal verb should when you're giving a suggestion. Oh, cool. You should take, and pay attention to the verb, the base form there. Take. You should take a flashlight, a first aid kit, and a sleeping bag. Next. Now it's a different advice, okay? Shouldn't. People shouldn't or people should not burn things in their backyards. One more time, let's repeat together. People shouldn't burn things in their backyards. Next. We can also use could plus verb. Let's take a look at this dialogue. I need to go on a business trip, but I don't have a suitcase. Call some friends. In my opinion, you could borrow one. Do you have a suitcase that you could borrow me? No, I don't. So pay attention that you're using these words, in my opinion, okay? Because you're giving an advice. You're giving advice and suggestions. Remember that advice, it's an uncountable noun. So, next. Other ways. You can say need to plus base form of the verb. You need to carry some food. Let's imagine that you're going somewhere. You need to carry some food. Why don't you plus verb? Why don't you make a list? Why don't you make a list? Or here two possibilities. It's a good idea to, or it's not a good idea to. Example, it's a good idea to take some money. To make some money, to take some money, okay? Next. Don't forget to. Don't forget to. Don't forget to pack your pajamas. Let's repeat together. Pajamas. Don't forget to pack your pajamas. And also imperatives, right? It's your parents, right? They use it a lot. They give this advice and suggestion. Take your sneakers. Don't forget your jacket, okay? So the verb, it's in the base form, okay? It's an imperative verb. Now let's review. It's an easy topic. It's not difficult. You should. Now think about one example. Take your notebook and write it down. You should, for example, you should study more. You should watch this class again. You need to. Why don't you? Let's repeat one more time. Why don't you? It's a good idea to. Don't forget to. Okay? So one more time here. So take your notebook and think about an example, a scenario. You need to listen to the English audios all the time. You should check out Edu's platform. Go there, lots of materials. It's a good idea to watch series in English. Okay? Oh, a good example here. I have to pack because I'm going camping tomorrow. I have to pack because I'm going camping tomorrow. You should take a tent and a flashlight, of course. Don't forget. Should or should not, shouldn't, it's like a strong advice. For example, you should take some insect repellent before you go to the forest. It's really important, right? Next, could. Could's more like a suggestion. You could borrow some money from the bank to buy a house. Need to, it's necessary. I need to find a job to give the money back to the bank. Alright? Remember, you can imagine a scenario. Write it down. Create a scenario and write using should or should not, could, need to, when it's necessary. Okay? Next. I'm going to Chico Mendes Park next weekend. What should I take? Pay attention that you can make a question using this modal verb should. So you use it before the subject or before the pronoun. What should I take? What should you take if you go to Chico Mendes Park next weekend? And then when you answer, you use the subject or the pronoun and the verb should. I should, let's take a look here. I think you should take sunscreen, insect repellent, and a camera, right? To take lots of selfies. All right? I'm going to a trip to France. What should I take? Think about it. What should I take? Maybe, pay attention to these words, in my opinion. Maybe. Maybe you should take a camera, a map, etc. Now let's practice. It's really important to review everything. Match the sentences. Number 1, I'm going camping. 2, I'm going to the beach. Let's repeat again. I'm going to the beach. I'm going to visit Europe. I'm going to visit Europe. And then we have 3 sentences there. Let's analyze together. You should take sunscreen. You should take sunscreen. Next, don't forget your passport. Don't forget your passport. And the last one, you need to take a sleeping bag. You need to take a sleeping bag. Let's analyze. I'm going camping. So you need to take important things if you're going camping, right? Number 1, it is you need to take a sleeping bag. If you're going camping, it's really important. It's crucial that you take a sleeping bag. Number 2, I'm going to the beach. Of course, when we think about beach, vacation, it's really important to take sunscreen. You should take sunscreen. It's really important to wear sunscreen. And the next one, the last one, I'm going to visit Europe. Of course, when you go to a foreign country, you need your passport, right? It's like your international ID. So don't forget your passport. Number 3. Okay? Next. Exercise 2. Circle the correct word. In that sentence, pay attention to the context. And don't forget to take a notebook and write down your answers. Letter A. You should or shouldn't do your English homework to learn more. You should or you shouldn't. Think about it. The correct answer is you should do your English homework to learn more. Practice makes perfect. Letter B. It's going to rain. You should or shouldn't take an umbrella. So, you should or shouldn't. Remember, it's going to rain. You should. You should take an umbrella. Letter C. You should. You shouldn't wash your hands before you eat. You should wash your hands before you eat. Okay? Now letter D. You should or shouldn't drink too much coffee. You shouldn't drink too much coffee. Okay, it's not good for your health. If you want to be a healthy person, don't drink too much coffee. Letter E. We should or shouldn't help all older people. We should or shouldn't help older people. Think about it. We should, of course. It's really important to help them. We should help older people. We are polite, very polite. I am pretty sure that you are polite, right? It's important to help older people. Letter F. It's important to speak English. You should or shouldn't learn English before you go to the US, the United States. You should learn English before you go to the US. Not only the US, but everywhere, right? It's important to speak the native language in a foreign country. Now, letter G. I got a low mark on my English test. Pay attention to that sentence, okay? I got a low mark on my English test. I should or shouldn't study more. Think about it. Well, if you got a low mark on your English test, of course, you should study more. So I should study more. And the last one, I have a test tomorrow morning. Pay attention to the context. Analyze everything. I have a test tomorrow morning. I should sleep early. I should sleep early. And now let's analyze your score. If you got 8 out of 8, excellent, great. If you got 7 out of 8, very good. If you got 6 out of 8, good. If you got 4 or less out of 8, study more. Okay? Practice your English. That's it. Não se esqueçam de acessar o Instagram do Cel, @cel.acre, nosso Facebook CelNel e também a plataforma Eduque, www.eduque.ac.gov.br. Lá você encontra uma série de materiais para poder praticar o seu inglês em casa. Enjoy your studies. Thank you.